Good morning, everybody. It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. If it's your first time joining my channel, I run a security guard and personal protection education and information channel, but we also just talk about general shit. Guys, I'm almost 50 years old. I'll be 46 this year. I have a lot of life experience, most of it from making a lot of mistakes, and I share those mistakes and my experience with you to help answer your questions and hopefully guide you into better decision making and better paths than I've been on myself. I am in no way perfect, so generally when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you from a position of having made certain mistakes myself. I had a follower, subscriber, I call them teammates and family members on this channel, and this guy had said something about being a dependable worker, that he's always the person that picks up the extra shift. He's always the person that stays late if needed, will work on his weekends, just a dependable worker, what any company would want, what any company would like. And he says, I always feel like I'm getting shit on. It doesn't matter what the situation is. If I'm asking for a raise, the answer is no. If I'm asking for a position of leadership or be put in a better position for myself, there's never an opportunity for that. If I need time off, I get yelled at or get chastised. And then he says the thing that we all know, but other people, they get away with murder. He said specifically, there's this one guy that got hired the exact same time that I did. He has no experience in the security field. He has no experience in law enforcement. Literally, we came in same time, went through orientation together, and he has less experience than me, has been more upfront about what he won't do for the company, what he's not willing to do, what his boundaries are. And then after, a couple of weeks, couple of months, they've put this guy in a leadership position. And he's like, I just don't understand it. And then yesterday, I'm in the break room at one of my locations where I'm working. And an employee's in there. She's having lunch. And she said the exact same thing. She just had this look about her, where you look at people sometimes and you're like, man, this person's going through it. And I'm like, hey, how's your day going? And she says, man, it's not going too good, man. I'm not going to lie to you. She was like, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I come in, I don't take off. I'm dedicated, I work hard. I got people calling off in other departments, and management is telling me that I have to do their work, but I'm not getting their pay. I'm doing their job. I'm stepping up for the company, but I'm not getting anything extra out of it. In fact, I'm getting yelled at because I'm not moving fast enough. And I'm like, man, this is a reoccurring thing. So for anybody who's listening, if you got this far and you've ever asked yourself, why is it that good people, hardworking people, dedicated people, the people who are propping up the company, why are they mistreated? And my answer to you is this: because you allow it. I've talked about this movie before. I've never had a movie that I've watched where one line in a movie literally summed up my entire life. Sometimes you watch movies and there's a point where you just get absolute goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. This movie is a Dutch movie. It's called Speak No Evil. Okay? They're actually doing a remake of it with James McAvoy. And I can't wait to watch the remake. But this movie is about two couples that meet at a vacation spot like in Italy or France, some really upscale place. Both couples have kids. They hit it off. They get along. And the one couple says to couple two, you guys should come and join us in Sweden next year. Come out. Vacation at our house. We'll have a great time. They do this. They show up at the house the next year, and right off the bat, there's something that's not right. it's not the end of the world, but they just have different ways of doing things. The one family is vegan, the other family eats meat. The one family is like really consoling and comforting to their kid, the other family is really aggressive. It's just right off the bat, something doesn't seem right. And the dad kind of feels like, you know what, we should leave and go home. But they stay. They actually allow themselves to be talked into staying by the other family, the host family, right? So as the movie progresses, there's all of these things that happen. Little arguments, little sexual innuendos, little disagreements, where throughout the course of the week that they're staying at the host family's house, there's all these little instances where they should leave. They see that it's not right. They see that it's not a good environment. They see that it just something just don't feel right. But every single time they allow themselves to make some sort of mental gymnastics reason to stay in the situation. They don't go home. Even after time and time again, these people who have them at their house, they show them who they are. All throughout this movie, they are showing this couple that is visiting who they are. But the couple that is visiting keeps finding reasons to stay. Spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, the host couple has kidnapped the child from the visiting couple. They are going to traffic the child, right? And they've got the husband and the wife in a position where they are about to delete them, okay? And there's no question in this scene what's about to happen. It's a very morbid and gruesome situation. But at the moment before this all takes place, the husband, who now is going to watch his wife be, and them both be, he looks at the guy whose house they're at, and he says, "Why are you doing this to me? Why?" And you can see them trembling. The wife is trembling, the husband is trembling, and he's looking at the guy, and he's like, "I can't understand why you have done this. Why are you doing this?" And the man looks at him and he simply shrugs his shoulders and he says, "Because you didn't stop me." That moment was so bone chilling to me that I paused the movie. I'm not joking when I say this. I paused the movie and I got up and I walked around, because it was like every issue that I have had in my life, every issue with my family, every issue with my employers, every issue with friends, with dirt bags that I work with in security that come into the store, right? Every single situation. If I were to look at, I'm driving through Portland right now. I'm driving through downtown Portland. Graffiti, feces, there's a tent right there. I'm on the highway. I see homeless people all over the place, right? And people say, "Man, what's wrong with Portland? What's wrong with Portland? Why has Portland gotten that way?" Because you didn't stop it. You allowed it. So to all the people who've ever questioned, why does my company treat me like shit? Why do they not give me the raise? Why do they not give me the promotion? Why do they not give me the shifts that I require, that I ask for? Why do they not compensate me for my hard work, my effort, my loyalty? Meanwhile, the other guy comes in and is just like, "Hey, I want $5 extra an hour. I'm not working weekends. I don't fucking do this. I don't do that." And the company's like, "Okay." Right? And we see that. You and I and everybody else, we see it. Guys who come in and go, I don't work for anything less than X. And the company is like, "All right," and they've been telling you for the past 2 or 3 years they can't even give you a dollar raise, right? The reason is because you, and when I say you, I mean myself as well. I'm putting myself in this conversation. We allow it. Great movie quote from Tom Hardy to Shia LaBeouf in the movie Lawless. I love the movie Lawless. Always refer to movie quotes, but movie quotes are so powerful because they generally are so true. If you've seen the movie Lawless, or if you haven't, Tom Hardy is a badass. Go figure, right? Tom Hardy is a badass. He's the big brother in this family. Shia LaBeouf is the younger brother. Long story short, Shia gets his ass handed to him by this cop. This cop is coming to town. He's threatening everybody. He's trying to upend the family business. There's a war that's brewing. And Shia gets his ass absolutely handed to him. And so he's sitting in this diner, and he's licking his wounds, and he's waiting for his big brothers to show up. He's waiting for Tom Hardy to come in so that Tom Hardy can rip some shit, right? So Tom Hardy comes in, and he's like, what are you going to do about this? Shia says, like, I don't know. I'm not built like you. And he goes, oh, no. I'm not taking care of this. You're taking care of this. What are you going to do? And Shia LaBeouf says, I'm not built like you. I can't do what you do. I'm not tough. I'm not strong. I'm not big. I'm the runt of the litter. Tom Hardy says, listen to me. For the rest of your life, as my brother, you will never allow this to happen to you again. Ever. Do you understand me? And he goes, and it's not about how big you are. The measure of a man is not how big or how tough they are. It's the lengths that they are willing to go to prove their point. Very, very powerful. If you don't like the way that you're being treated at your company, in your relationships, in the family dynamics, right? Whatever the situation is, guys, you have to be willing to, what do the kids say now? Stand on business. You got to stand on business. The reason why people who come into our companies and come into our work environments are able to get away with not showing up, to get away with calling off, to get away with demanding more, to get away with whatever it is that they do that we watch from the sidelines and go, what the fuck? The reason why they're able to get away with that is because they are also willing to cut bait and leave the environment. They don't care. They've put their willingness to do what's best for them in front of anything and everything else. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to stand on the demands of what you feel is best for you, then no one else is going to do it for you. Now, the issue with that is that does not guarantee, just because you stand on business, does not guarantee that life is going to work out for you. I have stood on the principles of a lot of decisions. I have said, I will not stand for this. I will not be treated like this. I will not put myself in this environment, and I'm standing on my morals and my laurels. And it hasn't worked out for me sometimes. So there's no guarantee that just because you stand on business, that's going to work out for you. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Maybe it'll work out in your favor, maybe it won't. But at the end of the day, that is the answer. Why are you treated like shit? Why are you put in situations where you're not respected? Why are you put in situations where, your boundaries are not adhered to or understood? It's because you allow it. And as long as you allow it, as long as you allow people to disrespect you, to not appreciate you, to not appreciate what you bring to the table, they're not going to. People are not inherently good, caring, kind, empathetic, and sympathetic. Everybody, for the most part, 99.9% of the people, especially when it comes to management, they're in the situation for themselves. And even if they're not in the situation for themselves, they don't have the control to look out for your best interests because they represent the company, whatever company that is. Okay? So once you understand that, now it's just a matter of what are you willing to accept? What are you willing to sacrifice? And what are you willing to deal with based on the decision that you make that's best for you? But I did want to come on and I wanted to answer that for that guy and for that young lady yesterday, because I have so often said to myself the same thing. And the last thing that I told the lady yesterday, she says, man, I just want to quit and I want to go work over here. And I said, the same issue that you have right now will follow you. Because if you're the kind of person that cares, you're the kind of person that gives extra, you're the kind of person that's willing to sacrifice and take one for the team, if you don't change that mentality, when you go to the next company, that next company will pounce on that as well. Okay? They will smell it. They will see it, they will smell it, and they will use it to their advantage. It won't change anything because you leave and go to a different company. That next company will go, oh, that's the hard worker. That's the person that wants to advance. That's the person that wants to get more out of this. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that to my advantage and to the company's advantage. So until you change that about you, nothing will change when you interact with another company. Leaving won't make a difference because the next company will do the exact same thing. So it's a matter of you figuring out within yourself what you want out of the situation, what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept, and then you have to stand on it, good, bad, or indifferent. But that is why it's happening, because you allow it and you accept it. All right? Let's see what we got real quick. Have a wonderful weekend. It's beautiful. It's not beautiful in Portland. It's always gray. Somebody said, when was the last time you caught some hands? People don't fight me. I'm almost 300 pounds and 6'2", and I will whoop a motherfucker's ass. Yeah, PBE says I'm certified and fuck around and find out, hands only. Yeah. Somebody said, is this alive? Yes, it is. Best dude, Joe, bro. How are you, man? I'm doing good. I'm getting ready to go into the office. Somebody says I don't look like how I sound. I don't know what I'm supposed to sound like. This is my voice. It's what God gave me. I am built as I was meant to be, and I love it. All right, y'all have a great day. Stay frosty.